Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing what I have just bought from Tesco's to feed my family for the coming week. The kids are back at school now, so I have got breakfast stuff. I've also got lunchbox stuff, and which will obviously overlap to what Chris and I will have during lunch times as well, because we both work from home. And then I've got 7 evening meals as well. I will be sharing some of these recipes in another video very soon, where I will show you what I feed my family in a week. I'll include maybe like 4 of the recipes in that video. So if you have a preference of which ones you would like me to show, then let me know down below in the comments section and I will be sure to include those in that recipe video. Whenever I meal plan, I always go through my cupboards, my fridge and my freezer to see what I have got in them already, so that I can use those ingredients up to try and keep my food shop as low as possible. This food shop has come out at £125, which I feel is a very good price for everything I've got. So I hope you enjoy this video and these recipes. Don't forget to let me know which ones you'd like me to include in a wider video, and let's just jump straight into it. Right, so we're starting off with the breakfast section. So as you can see, it's quite vast because this will last me more than just a week. Obviously, I've got loads and loads of cereals here, so they are going to last probably a good like 2 or 3 weeks even. So as you can see, I'm not brand fussy at all. I literally just pop in cereals and I just see what's on offer or what's the cheapest. These are all Tesco's own brand cereals. I've got some bran flakes, I've got like Special K equivalent, these malt wheats, which are delicious. I've got like the Weetabix equivalent, and I've also got this granola as well. So I've got 2 things of milk because I'm going to be using some milk in recipes that I'll show you as I go on this video. I've got loads of bread. I always buy 2 packs of each bread because I pop one in the freezer and one in the cupboard. So that'll go in the freezer, that'll go in the freezer, and these will stay in the cupboards. This is a sourdough bread. It's a really, really great one. If you look at the ingredients list on this, there's hardly any ingredients, so you know it's a really good sourdough. And then I've just got some Farmhouse seeded loaf here, which the kids will have. I have got some bagels, so I can, use that with the breakfast. I've got loads of butter already, and I've got loads of toppings for our toast. I've got honey, I've got peanut butter, Marmite, loads of different things, so I didn't need to buy any more of that. Then I've got some bananas as well, in case the kids like to have some bananas topped on their cereals, eggs if they want to have an omelette or anything for breakfast, or scrambled egg on toast, hash browns and bacon, because this is what we like to have at the weekends. So that is my breakfast selection, but some of these items like the yogurt and like I said the milk will cross over into other recipes, so I will just reference them when I am showing you those recipes. Okay, so this is the lunchbox section, so let me talk you through it. I've got quite a few things here, but I'm also, if you remember the bacon I just showed you before, but also I've got a whole chicken that I'm doing for a Sunday roast, which I will then just take all the chicken off, and I'm going to be using it for some of the lunch boxes too. So what I've got here is a big pack of Walker's crisps, and I've also got these Quavers as well for their lunch boxes. Then let me show you this actually. So I bought a whole pack of Tupperware the other day, and these little pots came with them. So what I did is I bought these raisins like this. They are so much cheaper than buying the individual boxes. And then what I'm going to do every day is just decant some raisins into this little pot. I'll link these down below in the description box. And it just works out so much cheaper. This is Jamie's favourite to take to school. So I've got raisins, I've got tuna, rice and cucumber, because Rory loves to have these 3 combined with some mayo, salt and pepper, and then that keeps him full for so long. So he'll take that in like at least once a week. Jamie loves to have ham and soft cheese wraps, so I've got 2 packs of wraps here. I've got some Baby Bells and some of these little yogurt pouches. I was going to buy Froogs, but these were half the price. And then I've got some apples as well. Pink Ladies are the best. So what I've also got for wraps is this Caesar dressing, and I've got this lettuce as well, because like I said, I've got the chicken and the bacon. So Jamie loves to have like a chicken Caesar salad wrap, or he likes to have a chicken bacon salad wrap. Rory will have that as well at the same time. Whenever I make that for one of them, I'll just make the same for the other. So this is their lunchbox section. They normally have lunchboxes like 2 or 3 times a week, and then they have school dinners on the other days. Okay, so this meal is going to become a prawn curry. So what I've got is some rice. This is the rice I've just shown you before. I've got plain naan bread, king prawns, tomato puree, vegetable stock, but as you can see, I've got loads because I'm going to use this for quite a few meals. Creme fraiche, and I have got these 2 masala pots. I'll obviously only just use one for this recipe, keep the other one for another time. And then what I'm going to be using that I've already got in my cupboards is some garlic too. And then I'm also going to use honey and pistachios to put on here. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You just pop these into the oven for a couple of minutes. When they come out, put loads of honey on them and put crushed pistachios on. Honestly, it's delicious. I'll add this into a, what I feed my family in a week kind of video for you. Because I've got this, I just pop this into my pot along with some tomato puree and my chopped garlic. Let that just release the spices and nice fragrances for a few minutes while it heats through. Then add some creme fraiche and about 200 mils of vegetable stock too, just 1 stock cube. Once that has all combined nicely, you want to add in your king prawns. You can cook them frozen if you want. I do take them out and just let them thaw a couple of hours before I want to use them. Cook up some rice while that's all cooking, and then like I said, do your naan breads how I have just explained. So super delicious, but I will add this into a recipe video very, very soon. I have just found my other bag of prawns. I thought I was being a bit measly only putting 1 bag into that meal, so I've got 2 bags to put in that meal. Okay, so for this recipe, I already had this beef mince in my freezer. So this is what I do to keep my shopping as low as possible. I go through my cupboards, my fridge, my freezer, have a look what I've already got and try and build meals around that. So obviously I always have like garlic and onion and bits and bobs like that. So I'll always try to use those up, and like I said, also use anything I've already got in the freezer. So what I'm gonna make here is some chili fajitas. So I've already shown you the wraps in the lunchbox section, and this is everything else I'm going to be using. I bought a 4-pack of these chopped tomatoes because it works out cheaper than buying them individually. So I'll just use one of those. I've got kidney beans, I've got a chili mix. I can do this myself, but I always feel like it just tastes so much better when I get one of these. Then I've got some cheese, I've got the beef mince that I already had, potatoes so I can make wedges, and then I've also got some lettuce. But Rory doesn't like lettuce in his wrap, so what I have also got that I'm going to use is some of the cucumber that I also showed you from the lunchbox section as well. So this is a really simple recipe, and sometimes I actually have leftover mince that I'll just pop into a little Tupperware in the fridge, and then I can use it when I make Rory some rice. I can have that for my lunches the next day, for example. But yeah, really, really delicious, easy, simple meal. You can prep this in advance, cook it in the day while the kids are at school. You can just heat it through and then serve up whenever you are all ready to have it. Okay, so this recipe is going to become a toad in the hole. So I'm going to use quite a few things I've already showed you, but what I've got here is some sausages, the potatoes I've literally just shown you. I've got peas, which I already had in my cupboard. I have got some gravy, which already I had in my cupboard, as you can see. I don't know if you can see, it's quite dark, but there's not that many left. So I've got that, and I've also got plain flour that I've had in my cupboard. Plus I'll be using some of the eggs and the milk that I showed you earlier. So to make my batter, what I do is I use the same amount of quantity for flour, milk, and my eggs. And I just whisk those all together, and then I'll pour it over my sausages, which I would have already pre-cooked for about 20 minutes in the oven beforehand. So they get half cooked and then they cook the rest in the batter. Then I serve it with mashed potato and some peas on the side with a generous amount of gravy all over the top. This is Jamie's favorite meal. Whenever I ask him what meal he wants in the week, this will always be the one that he goes for. Right, here we are going to make some halloumi tacos. I'm actually going to link a video to these down below in my description box. I made them on Instagram and they are honestly amazing. You have to give them a try. So again, I've got the same potatoes that I have shown you previously. When I have potatoes on the side of a recipe, obviously because we've got the main bulk of the recipe in the sort of like the chili wraps, and also that was for the toad in the hole. I only use about 4 potatoes every time I use these in a recipe, so there are so many in here. This is plenty to cater for 3 recipes. Then I've got some halloumi, red cabbage, I've got avocado, lime, these delicious Greek pittas. They're really nice and thick. And they are, one is all you need for this recipe because they are quite big. And then with the wedges on the side, it's a really, really nice meal. And then I've also got some coriander for the top. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pickle my cabbage. So I'll just pop a little bit of sugar. I'll like slice it up thinly, pop a little bit of sugar and some red wine vinegar into a bowl with the cabbage, and then just leave it there to stew so that it kind of pickles the cabbage really, really nicely. Then I just mash my avocado with salt and pepper, and then I lay that onto the bottom of my wrap. I fry the halloumi up in some honey and let it go like really nice and sticky. And then when I construct it, like I said, I'll do my avocado, my pickled cabbage, my fried sticky halloumi, a generous squirt of your lime juice, and then you just top it off with some coriander at the top and then serve it with some wedges on the side. But like I said, I'm going to link this recipe down below in my description box. Give it a try because it's so fresh tasting and absolutely delicious. You can tell we're getting later on into the recipes because I've showed you most of the stuff that goes into this recipe now. So my potatoes are back here, but that is because I have got these. These are what I already had in my fridge and I need to use them today. So I'm making this recipe tonight, but I'm going to be using these potatoes. So if you're thinking like that's not enough for you to make another recipe with, it's because I have got these ones already in my freezer, or not my freezer, my fridge. So this is going to become shepherd's pie. This is Rory's favourite. So I've got lamb mince. I've already got the onion and garlic that I've got in my cupboards already. And then I'm going to use some chopped tomatoes, some of the stock that I showed you, potatoes, the cheese I just showed you, and the peas I just showed you as well. This is super simple, but like I said, it's Rory's absolute favourite. So I will just make up my lamb mince. Again, you can do this in advance as well. You can actually prep this whole meal in advance. You can even keep it in the freezer or keep it in the fridge for a couple of days once you have cooked it. Pull it out and then pop it into the oven whenever you need it. I quite often will make this in advance and put it in the freezer, like I said, so that I can then take it out the morning we want to eat it. And then when it comes to the evening, I'll just put it into the oven for like 45 minutes on 200 degrees centigrade, and then it's done. So to make the mince, you just want to finely dice up an onion and garlic, saute those off for a few minutes, add in your lamb mince and then just brown that off. And then you just want to go ahead and add in your chopped tomatoes and your stock. Bring all that together, pop it into a baking dish, and then add some mashed potato on the top. To make my mash, I just literally will, sometimes I'm lazy and I don't take the skin off, but I will probably today because the boys always like it best when I take the skin off. And then once they are soft enough, after boiling, I'll just pop in some milk, some butter and some salt and pepper, mash it all down, pop it on top of my mince, and then add a generous amount of cheese over the top as well. And there you have a really, really delicious shepherd's pie. Serve it with some peas on the side, and that is it. Right, so to keep my shop down, I do find adding in some no meat meals really helps. So what I'm going to make here is a tomato pasta. There's no tomato to be seen here, but I'm obviously going to use some of the tomato puree and a tin of the chopped tomatoes that I showed you. Plus, I will also use some of the soft cheese that I showed you from the lunchbox section. So what I've got is some pasta, fresh basil. I've got this Parmesan. This is just a Creamfields one. It's so much cheaper. And then I've also got some ciabatta breads because I'm going to make some garlic bread on the side here. So I'll just cut those in half, mix up some butter and garlic, like chopped up garlic, spread it all over the top, pop them into the oven for like sort of 5 to 7 minutes, and you've got some delicious garlic bread. To make my tomato sauce, I will use a tin of chopped tomatoes, onion, garlic, tomato puree, and then once that's all combined nicely, I'll add in some creme fraiche, obviously salt and pepper, and also 1 stock cube. It makes a really, really good sauce. You can batch cook this, keep some in your freezer if you want to, and then you can use that tomato sauce to put, say, for example, with your shepherd's pie or with your chili mix that you're going to make your fajitas with. It's so versatile. So this meal is coming out to be really, really cost effective, but it honestly is totally delicious. 10-minute meal. Whip it up whenever the kids have a club that you need to feed them and dash out to. Yeah, never disappoints with my family. All right, so last recipe here. This is going to be used on a Sunday, and it is going to be a Sunday roast. So I've got a whole chicken here. Then I had these Yorkshire puddings in my freezer anyway. So when I saw those, I thought, well, I should make a roast. Then I bought cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. I'm gonna make a cauliflower cheese with that, using some butter that I already have, milk that I showed you, and the flour that I showed you already, and then obviously the cheese as well. And then I'll just steam broccoli on the side and roast the carrots with honey on top. Then, obviously, because I have shown you my extra bag of potatoes, I will have some leftovers of my potatoes to use up as well. So I'm going to make just some roast potatoes as well, and then I'll use that gravy that I also showed you too. So this is also the chicken that I was talking about earlier that I said I was going to cook up and use for the chicken Caesar salad wraps, because it's this is a large chicken, so we'll obviously use a lot of it for our Sunday roast, but we will have leftovers that I'll then use for lunch boxes. So yeah, that is all the meals. So that is everything I have bought for my family this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.